guys, Mary Beth Temple here, and in this video we're going to learn how to make a chain stitch. Now oftentimes you will use a chain at the beginning of your project. We'll call that a foundation chain, but even if you choose to go with a chainless foundation, which is another video that we'll talk about later, you also often need chain stitches within the body of your fabric. So let's take a closer look at the chain stitch. Let's talk chain stitch. Now, if I'm doing a foundation chain, which is what we call the chain that begins a project or a piece of a project, I'm going to start with a slip knot. And I'm going to put that on my hook, making sure that it's on the gauge part of the hook, not too close to the throat and not up where the thumb rest is, but on the part of the hook that determines the gauge. And then I'm going to yarn over, making sure that I'm yarning over from back to front, and I'm going to pull that yarn over through the loop that's on my hook. So that is one chain, because that slip knot, when you put that slip knot on there, that does not count as a stitch. So that's 1, 2. Now as I keep going, you can see I'm moving my left hand up closer to the hook to make sure that I have some tension on this. So once again, that hook goes under the yarn. That yarn over is going from back to front. And I'm pulling it through the loop that's on the hook. And once again, because I'm using an especially fat hook, because I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, I really have to make some effort to make sure that that chain is going up on the fattest part of the hook, because if I work too close to the throat, it's going to be too tight. So there is my chain stitch. This is the front of the chain. This is called the front of the chain, and you can tell it's the front because if you look at the base of that chain stitch, you see a little V. See how it goes like that? It's a little V. And then this is the back of the chain, and you can tell because instead of seeing V's, you're seeing bumps. Now, if you're crocheting away on a piece and it tells you to chain wherever you are, you're down to probably 1 loop on your hook, and you're just going to chain however many it tells you and move on to the next instruction. Just remember, when you're starting with a slip knot or you already have a working loop on your hook, when you are working a more complicated pattern, the loop on your hook does not count. The first chain is when you yarn over and pull it through. So there we have everything you need to know about how to make the chain stitch. Once again, I'm Mary Beth Temple. Thanks for joining me.